Think starting a business is too hard, too expensive, or something that only other people can do? That's the lie we've all been sold. But here's the thing. Starting a business is simpler than you think. Today, I'm going to break down how anyone, even if you've never thought of yourself as business material, can start a business. And the best part? You can start with what you have right now. All right, here's the truth. Starting a business isn't some huge mysterious thing that only a select few can pull off. You don't need tons of money, a perfect plan, or years of experience. All you need is the right mindset, some common sense, and the willingness to take the first step. Because when it comes down to it, starting a business is the right thing if you want to create freedom, make more money, or just take control of your own life. Here's the problem. Most of us want more out of life than the same routine, working hours for someone else, or feeling like our dreams are always someday. Maybe you want to earn extra money. Maybe you want to turn a passion into something real. Or maybe you just want to create a life where you call the shots. But when it comes to starting a business, people freeze up. They think they're not ready, or that they don't have the right idea, or that they'll fail. Most of the time, people think starting a business is like some giant leap off a cliff with no parachute. It seems like everything could go wrong. But here's what no one tells you. The hardest part of starting a business isn't anything out there. It's actually the mental blocks in your head. Today, I'll show you exactly how to tackle these blocks, and why starting a business is the right thing to do if you want to make a real change. Let's get one thing straight. Starting a business doesn't mean you need to go big right out of the gate. That's one of the biggest myths that keeps people from starting. You don't need to jump in with everything, spending thousands of dollars, building a big team, or launching a massive operation. In fact, doing that is a huge mistake. The best way to start a business is to start small. Why? Because starting small allows you to keep things simple, focused, and manageable. Imagine you want to start a business selling homemade candles. Instead of renting a store or investing tons of money in equipment, just start with what you can manage. Make a few candles in your kitchen, sell them online, or even to family and friends. The point here is that starting small lowers the risk and allows you to learn as you go. When you start small, you're also able to learn from your mistakes without going broke or burning out. Think about it as a test run. You get to figure out what works, what people like, and what they don't. Starting a business is like learning any skill. You need time and space to figure things out, and starting small gives you that. Let's talk about mindset because, honestly, it's one of the most overlooked parts of starting a business. Everyone thinks business is all about strategy and money, but the reality is that mindset is everything. And when you start a business, your mindset will either be your best friend or your worst enemy. One of the biggest mindset shifts you'll need to make is to get comfortable with failing. Most people are terrified of failure, but here's the thing. Failure isn't the end of the world. In fact, it's part of the journey. Every successful business owner has failed, sometimes spectacularly. What sets them apart is they didn't quit. They learned, adapted, and kept going. If you go into starting a business with the idea that everything has to be perfect, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Businesses aren't perfect, and neither are the people running them. So, instead of waiting until you have a foolproof plan, embrace the idea that failure is just feedback. It's a learning opportunity. When you let go of the fear of failing, starting a business suddenly seems a lot less intimidating. Another important mindset shift is to focus on progress, not perfection. It's easy to get hung up on every little detail, but the reality is, no business starts perfect. The right thing is to just get started and improve as you go. Your first product won't be your best product, and that's okay. Your first client might be a little rough around the edges, and that's okay too. The key is to keep moving forward and to let each experience make you better. Forget the myths about needing tons of resources. Here's the good news. You don't need to be rich, have a bunch of fancy equipment, or even quit your day job to start a business. One of the biggest myths about business is that you need a huge amount of money to get going. This just isn't true anymore, especially today when so much can be done online and at low cost. Let's say you want to start a business selling art prints. You don't need a studio or a gallery. Start by creating a few designs, list them on an online platform, or even start a simple Instagram account to showcase your work. The key here is to start with what you have and build from there. The internet has made it easier than ever to start a business with minimal resources. And with the rise of social media, you have a built-in marketing platform, meaning you can reach potential customers without spending a dime. You don't need a big marketing budget. You need creativity, consistency, and a willingness to learn. So if you've been holding back because you think you don't have enough money or equipment, it's time to let go of that idea. The right thing to do is to work with what you've got. Build your skills, make connections, and create something real, even if it's small. You'll be surprised at how much you can do with just a little effort and some imagination. All right, so here's the deal. You can plan, research, and dream all you want, but until you actually take the first step, nothing's going to happen. This is where most people get stuck. They feel like they're just one step away from being ready, and they'll take that step someday. But here's the thing, someday isn't on the calendar. The most important thing you can do when starting a business is to take action, even if it's small. Think about it like learning to swim. You're not going to learn by reading about it, watching videos, or talking about it. You've got to get in the water. The same goes for business. The first step could be as simple as reaching out to potential clients, posting about your idea online, or creating a product listing. Taking action is powerful because it builds momentum. When you do something, even if it's small, you'll find it easier to do the next thing, and the next thing after that. But if you wait for the perfect moment, you're just going to keep waiting. Starting a business isn't about waiting for the right conditions. It's about creating them. Every business, no matter how successful, started with one small step. That's the right thing to remember. Don't worry about building a huge empire right away. Just focus on doing one thing today that brings you closer to your goal. Before you know it, those small actions will add up to something big. Let's get real here. The best time to start a business was yesterday. The second best time is right now. The world is changing faster than ever, and that means there are more opportunities than ever. People are looking for new products, new services, and fresh ideas. So if you've been waiting for the perfect time to start, let this be your sign. The longer you wait, the more opportunities you're missing out on. The sooner you start, the sooner you can begin learning, adapting, and building something that's yours. And remember, the right thing isn't to wait for life to hand you the perfect moment. The right thing is to start now, even if it's messy, even if it's small. Starting a business is about making something real, something that brings value to others and freedom to you. Think about it. Whether it's a side hustle, a passion project, or something full-time, starting a business now is an investment in your future. You'll be creating options, building skills, and setting yourself up for more control over your life. So what's stopping you? To wrap it up, all right, let's bring it all together. Starting a business isn't about knowing everything or having a foolproof plan. It's about taking that first step, embracing the learning process, and building something meaningful as you go. The right thing isn't to wait until you're 100% ready, because you'll never feel ready. The right thing is to start where you are, with what you have, and grow from there. If you've been dreaming of a different life, one where you're in control, where your work matters, and where you can actually make a difference, starting a business is the way to make that happen. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be huge, and it doesn't have to be complicated, but it does have to start. So here's my challenge to you. Take one action today. One small thing. Set up a social media page, list a product, email a potential client, anything, and then do it again tomorrow. Because once you start, you'll find it easier to keep going. And who knows, in a few months you might be looking back wondering why you didn't start sooner. Hit subscribe for more tips to help you start the business you've been dreaming of.